Welcome back to Big Movie Mouth Off, the podcast where three Utah-based film critics disagree about movies. I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Adam McDonald.
I'm Brooks Bird.
It's great to be with you guys. This project has taken a little while to get up off the floor. I wanted to tell the listeners a little bit about the show if they don't know. Big Movie Mouth Off is a beloved Salt Lake City-based brand. It was a show started on YouTube by Jeff Michael Weiss and Jimmy Martin, friends of both of ours a number of years ago. Mm-hmm. And when Jeff sadly passed away, Jimmy asked me to join him on the show. And at that point, we were on public access television, and we did that show together for 5 years. And then, of course, the way the fates are, we lost Jimmy as well a few years ago. And I've been wrestling with how to bring this show back to life in his honor ever since. And I identified you two guys as the ones I wanted to work with most. But it's been a bit of a struggle to get it going. We've tried a couple of times. This is the first episode we will have recorded.
Well, we're all really busy.
There's going to be a little bit of a vault scenario where there's some hidden lost episodes that will eventually allow to see the light of day. But it's also been difficult because we've been trying to make sure that all the people who loved Jimmy were happy with what we were doing.
Yes.
And it's been difficult to get all of our ducks in a row from a marketing standpoint. So we're actually going to launch soft now. We don't have our website yet, but we will. And when we're fully up and running, the Big Movie Mouth Off brand is going to be back and better than ever. But I wanted to say thank you to you two guys for not only joining me today, but joining me on this now years-long journey of getting this podcast going.
Oh, yeah, of course. And like you said, we're doing this for Jimmy and Jeff. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with letting things take time to do it right.
It's an important memory, two memories that
yes.
we're trying to honor here. So we've been wanting to get it exactly right. And thank you, Brooks, as well for being part of this. Okay, so here's the show. We're going to review two films for you today. We're going to review Weird, the Weird Al Yankovic story, and we're going to review Wakanda Forever. First up is Weird. Let's listen to the trailer.
I'm tired of people thinking I'm some kind of joke.
Your dad and I agreed it would be best if you just stop being who you are and doing the things you love.
My whole life, all I wanted.
I'm afraid we found your son at a polka party.
Is to make up new words to a song that already exists.
Oh, well, you should do that then.
Okay, let's dive right into this, as Jimmy used to say. Adam, why don't you give us a little bit of a setup about what this movie's trying to do?
So, yeah, Weird stars Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al Yankovic, and it's a biopic. It's a story of his life, how he got his first accordion, how he wrote his first song, My Bologna, got into the business, and then it kind of goes weird. Because, I mean, pun intended, because this is about as accurate of a story as, like, you could say this is Spinal Tap. You know, it takes everything you know about a biopic, it turns it on its ear, and if you didn't know that you needed to see Weird Al crash Pablo Escobar's birthday party to rescue Madonna, you need that in your life. Like, you may not have known you need it, but you need it.
No spoilers, but that might actually happen in this film. So I think what you're trying to say, Adam, is that this was a guy who made his living doing parody versions of songs.
And they did a parody of a biopic.
This is a parody of a biopic.
Yeah.
Exactly what you'd expect.
Yeah, exactly what you'd expect.
Or you should expect.
Let me start.
Okay, go ahead.
I saw this movie just yesterday in preparation for today's show. And I want to say that you might feel like out in the listening audience that it's difficult to get your hands on this particular title because it's on the Roku channel. It's not a very robust catalog yet that they've got, but it is very easy to see this.
Oh,
film.
yeah.
Roku is free. It's got apps on all your devices. You can even just do it through your laptop, through their website. It's very simple to sign up, get an account, watch this movie, and then you can cancel it and never worry about it again. But I definitely don't want that to be a barrier to entry because people should check this out. First things first. Once I realized what the shtick was, what the conceit was, what they were trying to do, then I sort of settled in and enjoyed myself. There's a lot of cameos. The cast is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
It's got
it's
everyone in it. But I didn't find it to be as funny as I think they did.
Wow.
Really?
I laughed a lot, and I enjoyed what I was seeing, and I got it. It wasn't that the joke flew over my head. But I found myself laughing less and less as the hour and 48 minutes went by. I mean, what about you, Brooks?
It works for me the entire time, but I love spoof movies.
Yeah.
I love Weird Al. I'm wearing his shirt today because it's the one I bought when I went to the concert with Jimmy at the fair.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it hit all the right notes. I knew what it was going to be, that it was not based on facts,
No.
and that they were
Like,
going
not
to
even a
drive
little
this
bit.
into the ground for
Yeah.
2 hours, and I buckled in and enjoyed the ride.
I mean, it's super silly. It's like a Seth Rogen movie. I mean, it's
It's a
super
spoof
silly.
movie.
It feels like
They don't make them anymore.
It's true.
It's very old school, and it's
like he
in the
did
jokes.
It's like the movie Old School
no.
in terms of that kind of humor.
Well, no, what I was going for was it was like they did his life story UHF style.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And UHF, another forgotten classic that, if you're
Unless
Weird
you're a
Al
Weird
fan,
Al
you've
fan.
seen.
Yeah.
But most people were like, what is UHF? But this, I mean, there were moments specifically when he's like, again, going after Pablo Escobar where he's like
Oh, yeah.
Rambo shooting everyone and all this stuff. I was like, that's a scene from UHF.
Yeah.
And I think for me, what worked so well was that I've been a lifelong Weird Al fan. I mean, the first song of his I ever heard was Yoda off Dare to Be Stupid because I was a Star Wars fan. My buddy's like, oh, you got to hear this Weird Al person. And Weird Al was really the only music I was allowed to listen to as a kid because I was raised very sheltered and everything. And my mom loved, Amish Paradise and everything else. So I've been a fan of Weird Al since I was probably 12 or 13. So for me, being able to see this come to life on screen in the way that it should have been done, because you couldn't tell a story about his life without making it a parody. You'd have to.
I
do
mean,
that.
it's Weird Al.
I mean,
That's
the whole
all he
idea,
does is spoof.
Yeah, the whole idea that he wants to write original music and then like Michael Jackson rips him off. Like I was busting up
So
laughing.
good.
Like maybe it didn't go as far for you, but the whole movie, like I never stopped laughing.
It was the perfect twist on that.
Oh yeah,
It's full of those kinds of things. And like I said, there's tons of cameos played by actors
like
know.
Rainn Wilson as Dr. Demento.
Absolutely.
And like,
Jack Black as Wolfman Jack. I mean,
yeah.
there's all sorts. I mean, Evan Rachel Wood as Madonna is really
so
good in
good.
this.
She's
really good in this.
There's so many acting awards I'm putting this up for.
Speaking of acting, we got to talk about Daniel Radcliffe. Any thoughts on that?
My favorite part is that he lip syncs.
Yes,
That's
purposely
the-
and badly.
So spectacular.
It is quite.
It was
bad.
the perfect choice.
It's very clear that he's not singing
because
Like,
I think that's what
and they don't
everybody
care.
was scared of is like Daniel Radcliffe singing Weird Al songs.
I mean, he can sing. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong, he does Broadway,
but he's not Weird Al.
Yeah.
And we knew that, and I think people were scared. And then as soon as I hit play and it got to that first scene where he's at the band practice
Yeah.
or the auditioning, and I was like, oh, thank God.
I think it's cool too because a lot of times when you see biopics or kind of any kind of autobiographies or stuff, sometimes it's obvious that this is the actor playing the character.
Sure.
But with Daniel Radcliffe, like you just see Weird Al.
Yeah.
Like he goes up there and every so often you see like, okay, it's Harry Potter up there, but for the most part you really believe it's Weird Al up there playing the part. And especially because they did it as a parody that we knew it was a riff on everything, so it didn't quite matter if he didn't look specifically like Weird Al. It was that
He had the
it
hair,
fit
the
with everything.
mustache.
Exactly.
I thought he was fine. It didn't bother me. I thought he was fine, and I think everyone in this movie is mostly just fine. I mean, except for Rainn Wilson and Evan Rachel Wood, which I said, and they totally embody. But everyone else is clearly in on the joke.
Yeah.
It's very tongue firmly implanted in cheek.
it's
Everybody's
so
performance everybody's performance is really hammed up.
And then Weird Al's cameo is amazing too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Telling himself he's
better.
going to suck.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean that was fantastic, and I there are parts of it that I really enjoyed. There are times when I laughed out loud and really was having a great time, but I don't think it was enough of a concept to sustain an hour and 48 minutes. And I don't think anyone will walk into this or should walk into this thinking that they're going to get an actual biography. It's obviously pure
Especially
I would
fiction.
hope they would get that.
It's
you know,
pure
Well, and
fun,
especially by
pure
now.
fiction. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I was done with it after about an hour.
Oh.
And I would have
okay.
I would have enjoyed a shorter experience, but I didn't have a bad experience. Now, does this relate to the fact that I didn't really care all that much about Weird Al when I was younger?
Yes.
possibly. Yeah,
I think
'cause
it
it's-
absolutely does.
yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't. I mean, I
Yeah.
thought it was fine.
I mean, I've been listening to Weird Al since I was at least 8.
I know Jimmy
The
loved
80s.
Weird Al
It
too.
was the
that was a
80s.
real thing for him.
Listening to it at my friend's house. His mom
Yeah.
had all of the cassettes, and we would just sit and listen to them. Weird Al and Bob Rivers.
Yeah,
I think it kind of goes back to, like you said, like if you're into it as a kid. So, for instance, like I've showed people who've never seen Goonies before, like
They
I
don't
show it
like
to them
it.
now, and they're like, "Well, this is stupid." I'm like, "But we used to play Goonies as a kid." And you go back to like, what? That's why Stranger Things is so big because it
plays
taps
on
into
that.
your '80s nostalgia that a lot of millennials have. But yeah, I can definitely see counts that it may not have been for you because
Yeah.
you didn't grow up with that. It wasn't
Jimmy
like
would
your
fight
thing.
you so hard.
I mean, I
right
don't-
Oh,
now.
he would, yeah.
I mean, I was aware of it.
Right.
I just wasn't a big fan. I think it works as satire. I think it works as a parody. I think the meta joke they're telling works very well. I think it's acted fine. I think it's all fine. But for me, I don't know that I'm going to be really thinking about this much in a couple of months.
I will say, though, the end credit scene by Weird Al that was specifically written to win an Academy
song.
Award,
Yeah.
and it calls it out in the song,
Yeah.
is one of the greatest credit songs I've ever heard in my
No,
life.
it's
So stick through the credits.
yeah,
Yes.
definitely stick through the credits. Definitely do that. All right, so let's talk about scores. Big Movie Mouth Off, we use a 4-point system, so 4 stars, as we say. And half stars are encouraged, but we're not going to divide any more than half stars.
Oh, I want to do quarter stars.
No quarter stars. No quarter stars.
What
So-
about eighth of a star?
Nope. Up to 4. 4 is the max. 0 is the least. And 0.5s are totally welcome
And
inside.
we will never be scared to
we
get
save
0.
zero for Mother.
Yeah.
And we won't be scared.
No. All right. So I'll go first because I don't want you guys to influence me in any way.
I don't think we
If
can.
we didn't already, where we did.
Yeah, I don't think there's any hope for you. Like I said, I think it all works fine. I think it's all fine. I enjoyed it. When I shut my laptop at the end last night, I thought, okay, that happened. I'm good. To me, it's a straight 2-star experience.
Okay.
So I'm 2 out of 4. What about you, Brooks?
I mean, it's Weird Al. It's a spoof movie. They're 2 of my favorite things in the world. So
Are you going 4 right now?
I am going for
4
It's
stars.
a perfect spoof movie.
4
This is like
stars,
Naked
Brooks
Gun airplane level hilarious.
I wouldn't give either one of those 4 stars either.
Exactly.
Speaking of airplane, I watched that a million times as a kid, but it was always on like TBS or
Oh.
cable.
Yeah.
So the first
Edited.
time I ever saw it, the real version was at Geek Show Movie Night with Jimmy and Jeff.
Yeah,
because
of
it was
course.
like Jeff's birthday, I want to say.
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't realize there was like all the topless scenes and all that stuff. I was like, this
Oh, yeah.
is so dirty. I've
Back
never,
when things were rated, quote, PG.
PG, yeah, but I never seen.
PG used to be dirty.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that, I'm sure.
But it was just funny because I'd never seen it before.
So
and it
much
was because
stuff
of
cut
Jimmy and
out.
Jeff. I got to see the full version.
well, all right. So far, I'm right. Brooks is wrong. Where are you?
Oh, we're gonna with voting power. It's a 4. We outnumber you.
Told ya.
guys.
It is
Counts.
everything I could ever want in a
on.
biopic. It was like Walk Hard but better. It's Weird Al. I got a soft spot for Weird Al.
I'm
I
gonna
always
have to-
will.
I'm going to have to watch it twice and score it the same way both times to get to where you guys are.
But it's after watching this, it's almost like any other biopic, especially about a musical actor or person. If it doesn't include some of the aspects that they did, it's like why don't we do this? This is just magical. It's perfect. I couldn't have asked for a better Weird Al movie.
all right, 4 stars from you, 4
Yes.
stars from you, 2 stars from me. We disagree. Let's take a little break, then we'll come back and talk about Wakanda Forever. We'll be right back on Big Movie Mouth Off. And we're back on Big Movie Mouth Off. Next, we're going to talk about Wakanda Forever, the latest Marvel Cinematic Universe edition. Let's listen to a part of the trailer.
We know what you whisper. They have lost their protector. Now is our time to strike.
Okay, guys, look, there's no question the 3 of us are MCU fans. We have spent lots of time on and off mic talking about these films. It's not a big shock that we love these films. So Wakanda Forever, let me set this one up. You guys okay if I set this up? So we're starting obviously after the events of the entire Infinity War saga. And Black Panther is dead
Yes.
in the film. We'll talk about how they deal with that in a moment. But the film starts with his passing, everyone in mourning, and the world sort of moving on from the events of the Infinity War. So there's a lot of geopolitical intrigue in this movie. People around the world are very interested in Wakanda, their culture, their resources, both of which now are well known. And people are starting to grab at Wakanda, and Wakanda is starting to wonder if it needs to defend itself as a nation. Some things happen, which we will get into in a light way, and another formerly hidden kingdom is revealed. And a conflict arises between these two incredibly powerful nations, and the rest, as they say, is history. I don't want to give too much away. So that's the basic setup.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to say before I turn it over to you guys is I was very appreciative of the way Coogler handled Chadwick Boseman's passing.
It was pretty perfect.
It was perfect because he chose to just basically mirror real life by saying that T'Challa got sick and he passed. They had it right from the start, from the cold open, and then moved on from there. I have immense respect for that. There was no Carrie Fisher being kept alive with computers to finish a film.
Or doing like any kind of body double or anything.
I wondered about that. I was like,
I did
is
too.
it going to open with like a big fight scene?
Exactly.
And maybe he recorded some kind of dialogue that they're going to use?
And see, I was waiting
because it could be anyone in the suit.
entire movie. So like when her when Sherry's mom was like, hey, do this ritual and I could film there. When she does it later on in the movie, it's the end, but whatever.
Which is where they could have.
I was waiting for him to put his hand on her, her shoulder, and the fact they didn't do that is a testament to the director and the writing because, it mirrored real life. He got sick. They didn't know where it came from. They tried to cure him. It didn't work.
He's gone.
That's what happened in real life.
Full marks for handling Chadwick Boseman's and T'Challa's passing with a great deal of dignity. Full marks for me on that. I think that was really.
And I love the opening in the Marvel Studios because it was just 100% silent.
It was all about
just
Chadwick.
pictures of him. They did the same thing with Stan Lee passed too.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
It was just like, again, you could tell the movie was dedicated to him.
Yep.
Warts and all, which we'll get into.
So well done, Marvel, for handling that as with as much respect for the actor and the character as you did. I was very impressed with that. Let's talk about the film itself. I'm going to jump right in and talk about the few, but I think important things that I didn't enjoy about the experience because I feel like one of the things that's happening in Phase 4 is that the lack of a single focus, the lack of what I said in my written review, a big purple psychopath for everyone to focus on, makes these movies a little bit hard to get your hands around.
Oh, you mean like Phase 1?
Well, yes, fair point.
But Phase 1 was introductions.
It's
we
true.
didn't know people.
That's what they've been doing in Phase 4 with most
is
of these.
officially over now.
Well, they're introducing
everyone's introducing
entire new races and cultures in Phase 4. And I'll get back to the question that brings up in me, but it's one of the things I don't like about Phase 4 so far, and I'm talking about Love and Thunder, and I'm talking about Multiverse of Madness, and I'm talking about what it looks like Ant-Man, the next Ant-Man, might do. There's a lot of unfocused stuff going on. A lot of subplots, a lot of them are overcomplicated, left dangling. There's just a lot of unfocused stuff going on. And I find that to be, I think, blamable on the lack of a big bad, but also probably it's about Marvel trying to find their way, introduce as many new things as they can so that we're not all pining for Tony and Steve, right?
Well, the big bad's coming.
The big bad is coming.
But you had to watch Loki to know that.
Yeah, you had to watch Loki to know that, and you had to pay attention.
Which you would have if you're a fan.
Yeah, right.
But I think it's going back to that. Yeah, it's like they kind of did like a shotgun approach. Let's throw everything at the wall, see what sticks, and we'll pull it together. And like in the other Phase 1, 2, and 3, you had the movie at the end that like the Avengers tied it all together and then left more things going, but you knew that was happening. And I think it's really interesting because I think it's Bob Chackett who was letting them, or Bob Chapek, how do you say his name? He was the one who's really letting them kind of go wherever they want, especially with Disney Plus. And now that Bob Iger's back in, I think
some
you're going to
reins
see
might
that.
be getting pulled a little
I think
more.
you're going to see fewer Disney Plus. And you're going to see more movies.
I want more
focus on
special
the movies.
presentations.
Right.
That's what they should have been doing.
Yeah.
Werewolf by Night. And
Oh my God, that's
now the Guardians Holiday Special are perfect.
Are you talking
they're
about
single
the length,
stories?
Brooks? Are you talking about the
Well,
length?
they're single stories.
Yeah.
They're introducing new characters. You might see some old characters.
Yeah.
They're also finding ways to further the mythos of the other stories, and they're done in an hour. You don't need 6 or 9 episodes.
I don't know. I think Marvel
I think
probably
they're a much
has
better approach.
There's a certain category of brand and character that's going to get the cinematic treatment every time, and then there's the step down category.
So it's like, or in the reverse, where Armor Wars was going to be a show, and now it's going to be a movie.
Right. That's true.
Because it got too big.
But I mean, Hawkeye was always going to get a series.
Oh yeah,
but he
Black
deserves
Panther,
a series.
He does, but Black Panther deserves
After
a
all
movie.
those movies,
Right.
Yeah.
I just would have enjoyed a little bit more focus on this one. So I don't want to give away too much. We're a non-spoiler show, but you do see in the trailer that there's this underwater kingdom that gets discovered in this film for reasons that we won't get into. But what did you think about how all that was presented, Brooks?
Well, see, I thought it was great that they changed it. What was he before? Was he? It was Atlantis.
Yeah,
They were
Atlanteans.
Namor was
Atlanteans
Atlantis,
before, yeah.
and then now they're
They're
Telecon?
Mesoamericans. Yeah.
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 I think it was good that they changed it.
Yeah.
But the only problem they may run into is people starting to compare it to the other Blue People Water movie coming out.
We already got a good
And-
Avatar movie. We don't
Exactly.
need- yeah, exactly.
That's
This
what
was the
I'm
good
getting
Avatar
to.
movie. We don't need.
We got the
3
good
more.
Avatar movie. Now we don't need.
We're going to be talking about
I don't
Avatar
care
on
what
the
Del
show.
Toro said about it.
I'm sure we're going to be talking about
Oh,
Avatar.
did he like it?
He says it's James Cameron at the peak of his game or something like that.
A mountain that's 20 feet off the ground has a peak. So I'm not sure that.
Oh God, that means I must have peaked already.
Well, I mean, do you guys agree with me about the unfocused nature of this story
I
and
really-
the unfocused nature of the MCU Phase 4 in
For
general?
me, it's working because I know that they're all going to go somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, even things from, say, WandaVision are probably going to wind up in something else later.
Yeah.
And there's characters from the other phases that are finally starting to come into these new movies and TV shows.
I mean, don't
So
get me wrong. I don't mind them telling
they're
big-
starting to tie things together, but it is kind of weird to end Phase 4 without some big
Yeah, exactly.
blowout.
Exactly. And what I was saying before, I interrupted you. I'm sorry, but I don't mind big, complicated stories. I don't mind that. I don't mind
No,
having,
of course
having
not.
difficulty maybe.
And it's
following
Marvel. That's all
a
they do.
thread. That's That doesn't bother me. But I think I would have enjoyed a little bit more focus in this one. And I think one of the biggest problems, and I want to hear what you think about this, Adam, is that the Black Panther part of this story took way too long, and it was super underwhelming when it happened.
It kind of felt like, so I love Iron Man 3, also known as Tony Stark 1,
Yep.
which Jimmy dubbed it.
Yeah.
Love
But
it.
Iron Man isn't really in the movie. And so this movie definitely is, while it lives in the Black Panther universe, Black Panther is in it for 20 minutes at most.
Yeah.
I think the way that they brought the Black Panther in was very well done. When
That character had to earn it.
Yeah, they had
They
to earn
put
it,
that
and when they had
character through
their
hell.
little like dream sequence when they saw like the ancestors,
Yes.
that was I didn't expect that, and that was
Yeah.
a beautiful moment as far as just having someone realize, what path am I going to take? I can go good or evil. What am I going to do? And I think
Yeah.
having that actor show up and do that role was amazing. I did feel though at the end when they made their decision, it felt very cliche.
I mean, we're not saying who the next Black Panther is. I think it's probably fairly
I mean,
obvious
if
to
you've seen the
everyone
trailer.
right
In
now.
the
but
trailer.
We're gonna go without saying it. But what I mean by it happening too late and being a little disappointing is I don't necessarily mind how long it took to get to that point in the
It felt
story.
very Deus Ex Machina.
Yes, but I felt like it was late in the journey of this particular character to finally be embracing this role in their destiny, their life, whatever. And I felt like the reveal itself, like when it actually happened, though it was cool, it just didn't feel well earned by the movie, let alone by the character. I just would have. It's such an important brand. I think that handoff deserved a lot more care.
Yeah, I mean the journey they went on. I mean it was traumatic, and you could see why they went through it. Now I'll be completely honest. I had to go run pee, so I missed the part where like they made the flower.
Oh my God. Of all things.
There's there actually is an app that tells you when you should and shouldn't go, and apparently I picked wrong. I was like, oh, it's a quiet time. I'll go.
Yeah.
But I think they earned it, but they didn't. Even though they were the Black Panther, they didn't wear the mantle, if that makes sense. Like they earned the right to become the Black Panther, but they didn't earn the right of being the Black. I don't know, maybe that doesn't make sense, but by the end of the movie, of course, they finished their hero's journey. They're completely moving on with their life, almost seeming like leaving Wakanda for
Oh,
good.
it did seem
yeah.
like that. Yeah. And
Yeah, because we had M'Baku come down
Yeah.
and say, hey, I'm doing this.
Right.
So it almost seemed like the Black Panther just is gone from Wakanda.
I think
That they
there are
don't
plenty
need
of
it
questions
anymore.
at the end, which I'm okay with.
Yeah, and the
for-
mid-credit
for
scene was
Wakanda.
beautiful, too.
It was. And
It
there's
was
only
just-
one, by the way.
Yeah,
so
there's only one,
Yeah.
don't say.
don't stick around for two. There's only one.
And we might not get another Black
I
Panther
think,
movie.
I think the biggest thing, no, it says Black Panther will return. So
Yeah,
you
but that
see
just
more.
means in something.
Right. I just think it's funny we've been talking so much about Phase 4 because I think this is like almost the capstone before Guardians Holiday Special. I think the biggest thing that's really bugged me about Phase 4 is there are no stakes.
Exactly.
Like Black Widow, for instance, if you were to put Black Widow in between Infinity War and Endgame, perfect movie.
Yeah.
But because we know where she ends, we know what happens, there's no stakes, there's no danger. We don't see the rest of the Red Room coming back and doing something of the Black Widows. Eternals, everything seems like it's in its own little universe. And for all we know, maybe that is because it's in the multiverse. And this is the multiverse phase. But while there were definite stakes for Wakanda and for Namor and everything going on, it just felt like it was in a bubble.
Yep.
Like there was nothing that tied, like, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Thor, those are things that all were tied into everyone's lives.
Yeah,
I
even
definitely
though
have
it
an
wasn't
issue
an
with the
official Avengers movie.
Right.
Yeah.
I have an issue with the stakes as well. I think that's well put. You mentioned something that I'm glad you mentioned, and I want to see if Brooks agrees with me. You mentioned Eternals.
Yes.
I felt when Namor's people came up, I felt the same way I did when I saw Eternals. Where the hell were you people when Thanos was killing everybody? Twice. He did it twice. Where were you? Okay, the Eternals, they gave us their excuse.
Well, that leads us into kind of spoiler territory.
It does, but where was Namor during all that? I'm just and they don't even react to it. They don't even bring it up. It's just not even discussed. I think they're starting to get to a point in the MCU where they're not talking about the blip anymore. They're not talking about any of that stuff. They're just moving on
I
from
mean,
it.
you kind of have to after a while. It's
Yeah.
it's like JFK. Like after a while, you have to stop talking about the fact that JFK was assassinated.
Right.
It's in the past. We know it happened.
know it was there.
But we move forward. I think that's how we all have to work when we look at things in the past that were traumatic. We've all had those things, and eventually you do have to come to terms with it, accept it, and move forward because you can't dwell on it. Otherwise, you'll never go anywhere. You'll be stuck.
If you're wondering if you heard correctly that Adam McDonald just likened an underwater warrior race to JFK's assassination.
I
Yes,
did,
he
yes.
did. He did that. That happened.
Yes.
Move on.
I mean, the blue people were more important. But,
Okay, so I mean, I think we all liked this film. There's definitely some issues with it. We're at the point now in the MCU where you can really nitpick these things if you want to. Like you can really dig deep, and
We know
because,
I don't.
because the expectations are so
or
high.
if you're an incel online and you just are sad that a black woman was the main focus of the whole movie, but
Or you're
That's-
mad that She-Hulk gets it on.
I loved the arc of the Black Panther story. I love where it's going. I love how interesting and fascinating Wakanda still is. It was a great place to spend a couple hours again. I loved being there. I'd like to see more with Namor and his culture, honestly, and I hope we do.
well, he's a mutant, so you're going to see more.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Again, they're slowly bringing the mutants in. So
Yeah.
We've got two officially in
Yeah.
the MCU
two official, and then
in this
Deadpool.
universe.
Deadpool's in there,
Oh,
and we
Deadpool.
also Wolverine is now part of the MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There actually was what
mentioned
movie
it.
was it or a TV show that actually had a headline in a paper that mentioned there was a guy with claws fighting in a bar. So we're getting more mutants in.
Wasn't it Ms. Marvel?
Might have been
think-
Miss Marvel.
I think
yeah.
I think it was Ms. Marvel.
But they're being brought in. So you're going to see a lot more Namor. Namor was actually one of the first. He was introduced in 1939 and became one of the first mutants. He wasn't first class, but he was, I guess you could almost say, the first mutant.
Well, let's before we go to scores, let's talk a little bit about the action. I could have used a little bit more like actual physical fight scenes. There were a few.
Yeah.
There were a few. The one on the bridge is really great. But I thought there was a lot of reliance, just like the first Black Panther, if I'm honest, on CG. A lot of CG fight sequences. What did you guys think of the action and how the movie looked? You go first, Brooks.
I think everything looked good until it got to the big action scene at the end.
Yeah.
And then it was like, did they run out of money? And Ironheart looked kind of
Yeah, but I love Riri Williams.
well, so do I. But we're talking about how it looked at him.
Yeah.
The
How'd
quality.
you think it looked, though? Like,
I've really had a problem with Marvel in Phase 4, like going back to that, with their CG.
It's been more
Like,
lackluster.
I think so, too.
Obviously,
And
they're making billions at the box office.
think
and
things
they're
are being
spending
rushed.
a lot of money, but yeah, it feels like it gets down to crunch time, and we can shave 5 days and $5 million off if we do this. But that's been a problem since Endgame. I mean, it hasn't gone anywhere. So I think the fight scenes were okay. I really enjoyed the final fight scene with Namor and Black Panther.
Yeah.
I think it reminded me of like the Daredevil in the hallway scene where it's like you're just tired of watching these people just beat the
That was
crap out of each
that
other.
was a cool high concept fight too, because
Yeah.
it was a lot more going on than just their strength, So that I enjoyed too. I agree that was really well done, and I feel like the settings were beautiful and beautifully rendered. But I think we're all saying the same thing about the sort of Phase 4. I don't want to say laziness, but
I feel like they're trying to get to something else.
the third
feels
acts
more
of
comic
these
booky.
movies, the third acts of these movies, I feel are all
Which is
all a
good for
little
me.
rushed, and I feel like they're cutting corners with the look and feel in those big third act set pieces. So, yeah.
But it does go back to with Halloween Kills, setting up for Halloween Ends. I feel like this is the setup for Phase 5, and I think they're waiting to get to Quantum Mania. It's almost like when because I loved Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yep.
The first season was so rough though because they couldn't tell their story until Winter Soldier happened, and we've had the whole Hydra reveal.
Right.
So I feel like this is being hamstrung by something, and like Kevin Feige's a genius. Like he knows what he's doing. But I want to see what it is now because he's left
Where
me
is it
wanting.
going?
And honestly, I could eat my words 3 movies from now where all of a sudden everything makes sense. Eternals all of a sudden ties into everything. Or it could go back to what we said about the fact that maybe this is all in different universes.
I hope that what you predict is coming, because I feel like my patience is wearing a little bit thin, but not to the extent that I'm not going to run out and see these
Right,
movies
'cause the
like
only-
a little kid.
All it's really doing is making me buy more comics.
Yeah.
Well, which is good. Now I'm going to get you into some good comics too.
Yeah.
But again, the only movie, if you think about this, that we know for sure takes place in the 626 universe was Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
No one knows what the rest of it is. And now, and actually, I just thought of that when we were recording this. So
That's true.
we could find out in the next couple movies that, hey, this is actually, why do they call it the Multiverse Saga if everything wasn't taking place in the multiverse?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if there was something that big going on behind the scenes, but I don't know that it's going to redeem the flaws in these movies as individual
It may not,
experience.
but
It kind of
again-
has like middle book syndrome.
Yeah. That's good. That's
Yeah.
well put. Well, let's jump to the scores. Brooks, you go first. What do you score Wakanda Forever?
I mean, I was way kinder to it after I saw it, but I'll go 3.5.
3.5. Okay.
It's Marvel.
Okay.
I eat it up.
Yeah,
don't
I mean,
care.
agreed. I think we're all in the same boat on that. What about you, Adam? What do you score it?
I'm going to go with a 3. I mean, again, it's really, really good. There
Yeah.
are some problems with it, obviously. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. And am I going to go out and watch it over and over? Probably not.
Yeah.
I think it's 15 minutes too long.
Yeah.
I think there could have been some little cuts there. But it's Marvel. It's fun. I think there's some really good messages in there. It's beautiful. They handle T'Challa's and Chadwick Boseman's death very, very well. And I like it because it pisses off incels.
I agree about the runtime. At 2 hours 40, that's too long. But I loved it as well. And I'm going to go with 3. I think 3 is a good score. 3 is not a bad score.
No, it's not a bad score at all. No.
Yeah. So 3 for me, 3.5
I mean, it's not
from
as good
Brooks.
as weird,
Yeah.
but you know.
No.
No. It's not weird enough to be that good.
Yeah, it's not. No, never mind. 3.5 from Brooks, 3 from Adam, 3 from me. Let's take a little break and then we'll come back and talk about our guilty pleasures. And we're back on Big Movie Mouth Off. I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Adam McDonald.
And Brooks Bird.
And we're talking now about our guilty pleasures. This is a part of the show where we talk about things we love that maybe we shouldn't because they either aren't very good or they don't hold up or they don't have a common opinion out there in the world. So this is the music edition. We're going to talk about movies about music.
Yes.
Brooks, what's your guilty pleasure?
Well, I had 2 that I came with because I didn't know which one Adam would steal.
Which he does.
He didn't wind up going with either of them.
Stop.
I was surprised. I was thinking of going with Walk Hard,
Yeah.
the Dewey Cox story, but it's so similar to Weird that I was like, no, I'm going to go with the other one. So I'm going to have to go with Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stoppin'. Connor for real's my boy. That's a movie I wrote an entire review as an actual review, like it was a real documentary.
Good for you.
Because I loved it so much.
You were in on the joke. Good for
Oh,
you.
yeah. I mean, I went full in.
Pop star. Good choice. What about you, Adam?
When Brooks told me Popstar earlier, I was like, oh my God, I should have chosen that.
I know. I felt the same way.
I'm going with Sweeney Todd, though. I love the musical. I love Sondheim. Johnny Depp isn't that good of a singer. Obviously, Tim Burton's doing Bring Your Wife to Work, but it's a ton of fun. It's gory. It's just, Johnny
Madness.
Depp slitting throats, and it's how can you not like that? And then grinding them into meat pies and serving them to people. It's a great story, even if the movie itself isn't that wonderful.
200 episodes from now, we will do a supercut of the guilty pleasures of just the non-musical movies that Adam chooses. It'll be 0 minutes long. It'll be 0
I do kind of
minutes
choose
long.
musical movies, don't I?
You do. All
That's
right.
my obviously gay trait.
So it's Sweeney Todd for you. Brooks, you said Pop Star.
Star.
Both great choices. Mine, I know you guys disagree because, or maybe you disagree with each other on this, but to me, this movie doesn't hold up as well as I wish
agree
it
with
would.
you.
And it's Blues Brothers. I love it. It's a guilty pleasure.
That's fine.
I'm old enough, guys, that I joined a high school lip sync contest with a friend of mine as the Blues Brothers.
So you're old enough to love the Blues Brothers and not like Weird.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Everybody's
See?
different.
Yeah.
Brooks, we're all different.
We figured it out.
We all
It's
have
the difference in generations.
Exactly.
Oh no, we're not going to say generations here, guys. We're not going to say
Hey,
generations.
I'm part of the microgeneration, the Zennial,
Hey,
Yeah.
being born in 80 is
otherwise
a
known
lot
as
of
the
fun.
Star Wars generation.
You guys, we're not going to be talking about generations. We're not that far apart. All right, so our guilty pleasures again are Brooks. You had
Pop Star.
Adam,
Sweeney Todd.
and I had Blues Brothers. We're going to take another quick break on Big Movie Mouth Off, and we're going to come back and talk about coming attractions, things we are very excited about. And we're back on Big Movie Mouth Off. We're talking about coming attractions now. These are things that we're excited for. Doesn't have to be a film. It could be something on television. It could be a video game. It could be a book. Anything you want. And it doesn't have to be coming very soon. In fact, the thing that I'm excited for is something I just learned about. It's not coming out until 2024, but it's the return of Joaquin Phoenix as Joker, which I am super excited about. Not only is Joaquin Phoenix coming back as Joker, but guys, Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. Are you kidding me? I mean, I am extremely excited about this project.
Yeah, I love The Joker. It was my favorite movie the year it came out. But
Yep.
if you want to scratch that itch, you need to watch Harley Quinn on HBO.
I know. You've
lot
told
of
me this
people have told
before.
me.
You got to stick through the 3 episodes to get to King Shark because you're going to hate it before King Shark. And then the moment you do, it clicks. And trust me, like while you're waiting for that movie, which we're all anticipating, take my advice. That'll take care of your like for Harley Quinn.
All right. So what else are you looking forward to, Adam?
Oh, so there's 2. I mean, the one that's far away is Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Because that's one of my greatest movies ever made was the original.
Yep.
I'm
Watched
really
it yesterday.
excited for the movie version of the musical based on the movie of Matilda.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Saw it on stage. It's fantastic. The music is gorgeous. Emma Thompson is Mrs. Termont, whatever her name is, the villain of the movie. I'm excited for that. And if they do the musical justice, which the musical did the original movie justice, which did the book justice a lot, it'll be fantastic.
All right. How about you, Brooks? What's your coming attraction?
Oh, mine's Violent Night.
Oh, yes.
Got David Harbour as Santa
know.
Claus in a Die Hard situation.
He's going to do
Sign
what, he's
me
going to do what
up.
he's going to do what Mel Gibson tried to do.
Yeah.
Which is make a
I've heard about
badass Santa.
What was that one called? Fat Man or
Yep.
something?
It was called Fat Man.
See, I just go back to Bad
I never
Santa.
even saw it.
I did see it.
I'm sorry.
I'm looking forward to Dave Harbour as well.
I mean, aside from that, it's from the director of the Dead Snow movies.
Yeah.
You gotta love Nazi zombies.
Yep.
And he also did the Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, which most people haven't seen.
Yeah.
Which is a far better movie if you watch the gory, unrated version. It's hilarious.
So a couple of these are pretty far in the future, but I'm looking forward to the new Joker movie. You're looking forward to, Adam.
Matilda.
And Brooks, you're looking forward to
Violent Night.
Violent Nights. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of Big Movie Mouth Off. We are very glad to be back. It's an important Salt Lake City-based brand. There's a lot of great memories with this show and some great people to remember as we do it. Thank you guys for being with me on this journey. It's taken a while. Here we are. Until the next episode, I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Brooks Bird.
I'm Adam McDonald.
Thanks for listening. Big Movie Mouth Off is produced and edited by me, Jeff Counts, and co-hosted by Brooks Bird and Adam McDonald. This episode and every episode of the show is dedicated to the memory of our founders, Jeff Michael Weiss, and my dear friend and partner in crime for over 5 years, the incomparable Jimmy Martin.